Hello everyone, welcome back to Alex on Irons, and today I'm going to talk about Axel Disasi. Now I know I'm very late to this conversation. I took about 6 months off of YouTube, and he wasn't even a West Ham player, let alone playing football, last time I made a video. The last time I did an actual YouTube video before yesterday was actually a preview to our Carabao Cup fixture against Wolves, and yeah, that didn't go too well, did it? So yeah, obviously he's joined us from Chelsea on a loan till the end of the season with no option to buy, but in this video I'm probably going to be reiterating what a lot of other West Ham fans are saying, which is if we stay up, we have to sign Axel Disasi. And the reason why I think, unlike other loans, I do think we've got a good chance of signing him. Before I continue, if you guys could please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Any help would be really appreciated. As you can see, the setup's a little bit dodgy right now. I'm currently holding my Yeti microphone instead of, having it on a stand or something. I've just moved house, so yeah, this is why the setup looks a bit weird. You've got my wheelchair there in the background and some tap behind me, just to kind of fill the space. But yeah, this is kind of the setup for now. I know it's not perfect. But going back to Axel Disasi, I think this signing was incredible. What a signing that I didn't think any West Ham fan wanted. It was almost a worse signing than Igor, because we were hearing reports of Charlie Creswell being the guy we were going to get. And literally, I think we had to get a permission slip. I don't know what it's called, a transfer sheet permission slip, but this is a school scenario to be able to sign Axel Disasi because we were late. I got flashbacks to the Benrahma and Fornals deadline day. I think it was January, a couple of years ago, where we apparently didn't fill out the forms correctly. And I was thinking, we're not going to get this over the line, are we? We're in trouble. Actually, we did get Disasi over the line to a bit of a whimper. It was like, all right then. But at least it means we have 4 centre-backs, because we got rid of Igor before bringing in Disasi because we had to get another loan in from the Premier League. And that kind of confirmed to me that we weren't aiming to get Charlie Creswell. And at the time I was like, okay, this is going to be a signing. Not a signing that I'm overly happy about, but a signing nonetheless. I think it will be a signing that we can theoretically get some good mileage out of. And maybe not replace Mavropanos and Todibo, but be a better option than Kilman, and certainly have more to do with the squad than Igor did. Because it's very clear, even Graham Potter didn't really like Igor, which is a bit weird considering Graham Potter signed him. It was a really weird loan. The only thing that loan actually did in the long run was Bullock and Mark Gahey going to Liverpool. Yeah, don't take that personally. I just, it was written in the stars that Igor Julio would come to West Ham to play barely any minutes. I think he came on against Bournemouth. Was that it? Did he even play at the London Stadium? Did he? I can't remember. But what I do know is that Axel Disasi has been phenomenal. Right, now I'm going to get into the bits I love about Axel Disasi, and that's A, we finally have a leader in the defence. Now, this is before Mavropanos became the Greek god that he has become now. But we were really struggling at the back. None of our centre-backs really seemed to want to take the lead when it came to defensive situations. None of them really seemed to have that ability to perform and to lead the defence. And with Wan-Bissaka, who is brilliant, he doesn't have that leader instinct. He's not a leader. And Juff is too young and inexperienced. So we had 3 defenders who could be leaders but aren't good at it. Al-Hadji Malik Juff, who you wouldn't expect to lead a defence. He's also a left-back, not a centre-back. Realistically, to lead a defence, you really want to be that centre part, your Virgil van Dijks. It wasn't like he became the leader, because I don't think that's what he did, but he allowed Mavropanos to become the leader and allowed Mavropanos to not worry, probably because he didn't have Max Kilman next to him, that he could just become that leader and help the defence, and the defence became a lot more calm. And with that, we got so many more clean sheets. Now, I know Mads Hermansson coming back into the lineup was a major factor to this too. I love Mads Hermansson. I actually made a video about Mads Hermansson before he signed for West Ham, and why I think he will become a good goalkeeper. And part of my reasoning was because he'll be a project goalkeeper. If we can keep him for a couple of seasons, he'll just improve. And we're seeing that now. Yes, he wasn't great against Aston Villa, but again, he's young. It's his first season properly in a non-relegation side, Premier League. That's a bit hard. I can't really say that, can I? It's his second crack at the Premier League. As a goalkeeper, that is difficult. I know I'm speaking like I am a goalkeeper, in which I'm not. I can't even stand up. But I think one thing West Ham have always been good at is having good competition for the goalkeeper position. I still like Areola. I think Areola should get opportunities. I think he's been a great servant to West Ham. He's been here since our Europa League season, I believe. Was he here the season before that? I don't think he was. So, he's been here for a long time, then signed a permanent for PSG. And he's been, he's had his moments of being a bit sloppy and, he doesn't want to catch a ball to save his life. But he's been brilliant for us, and he's been incredible. Lucas Fabianski before that was insane, and he stayed here and still is here till this day. And I think he's a great third goalkeeper to have. But Disasi just brings something to the defence from a fan's perspective, and I think an audience perspective. They're just, again, it's the calmness, and that relates back to the atmosphere. The atmosphere inside London Stadium. Now when we lose the ball, we're not immediately going, oh God, oh God, oh God. In the same manner that we were 3 months ago. Where as soon as we lost the ball, we're like, okay, we're in trouble now. Or whenever Disasi gets on the ball, the crowd cheer it because we know he's going to boot it away in the right place. We're not worried that Max Kilman's going to get the ball and just, I don't know, kick it into our goal. That's a bit harsh, he's not that bad. But there's a fight that I didn't think we'd get from him just based on the noise before the loan signing. He was very unsure about joining West Ham, and I'm fairly sure that was over minutes. And you have to look at that and go, well, do you know what? He's asked for minutes, he's been given them, and he's used them really well. And he's actually made a lot of people go, oh, we were wrong. And the one thing that's tough for football fans is to admit that they're wrong sometimes. It is just a fact. So the fact that West Ham fans immediately, during that Burnley game, when he got his first start, were like, alright, he looks like he's been playing football non-stop, despite the fact he hasn't really played a competitive game in over a year at that point. If you told me that he would become my favourite defender at West Ham, I wouldn't have believed you. And I know we say never fall in love with a lone player, but I think we got a really good chance of signing Disasi. Not only because of the murmurings, we'd be happy to stay with West Ham if we stay up. Obviously, this doesn't, I'm not saying that if we go down, we keep Disasi. I'm not silly. He will not play Championship football. In actual fact, I'm now worried the only defender that we have that will play Championship football is Kilman. Obviously, we got Scarles and Mayers and other defenders in the under-21s that will come into the team, but the only starting centre-back I think might be Kilman. That's only because we can't shift him on. But yeah, with reports that Nuno doesn't trust Kilman anymore and doesn't really want him in the team, this could be an opening to sign Disasi on a permanent, and also 3 centre-backs with Disasi, Mavropanos and Todibo going forward. I'm not too sure about the back 3. I think that's the issue of, can we keep all 3 of them just based on the fact that they all want to play? They all deserve to play, especially the likes of Todibo and Mavropanos. They haven't done anything wrong either. Todibo obviously went off with an injury. We don't know too much about the extent of that injury. I hope he's okay, because under Nuno especially, he's just been a different player and sort of been the player that we signed for the fee that we did. I'm sort of in that position now where I think we could get our money back for him. We wouldn't make profit on him yet. I think you need another season of him doing what he's doing now and improving even more to then go, okay, maybe we can get a bit of profit. I think we can sign for 35 million or something like that. But we could, I think, break even on Todibo. And I really want to keep him. I really want to keep Mavropanos. Mavropanos, to me, is the guy you get to sign a new deal. Get that man on the dotted line now, because he is fantastic. And I get he won't sign because we're currently in a relegation scrap. I'm talking about at the end of the season. This is all in the mindset of we're staying up. I don't know if that's me being too optimistic, but I'm a believer in these sorts of things. I'm a believer in this scenario where we do stay up, we do survive, because we're good enough to. I know other teams will think the same thing. I know Tottenham will certainly say they have the players, but Tottenham I don't think have the mentality, because they don't have the knowledge as a club, as a fan base, to be in a relegation scrap. They did brilliantly with their team before the game against Nottingham Forest, right? I know that, we can all meme and joke about them doing a bus parade, clapping the bus and all that sort of thing. But as a fan base, you can't really ask for more. They gave their players everything, and the players on the pitch gave them nothing. Now, I know I didn't watch the full game, because obviously West Ham playing at the exact same time, but I saw enough to know this Tottenham team ain't up for it. But West Ham, we are. And Axel Disasi has sparked that fire in the defence, because he's come into the team and he's bought into this. He's really bought into whatever Nuno's saying about the club. And yeah, he said the thing about his nan being, or aunt being, a West Ham fan. I don't know if that's true. I know some people always lie on, err on the side of that's rubbish, but we don't know, so I'm not going to say it's fake. But what I will say is, even if he doesn't sign a permanent, I cannot fault his effort at all. He didn't just take the loan deal to get a few minutes and do whatever. He came into this team to, I'm sure, not only for himself, to raise his profile, but he's also trying to take West Ham along with him, and I like that. We've seen him get really stuck in for this club at times where you think, if a lone player didn't really care, he wouldn't. Those blocks against Man City, and I know Mavropanos got all the plaudits for Man City, rightfully so. The only reason that Disasi didn't is because it was a regular game for Disasi. It was a solid performance after a string of solid performances. It's what we've come to expect from Axel Disasi now, which is crazy. I was literally in a pub in Liverpool Street, sat next to a Chelsea fan. I was talking to a mate about West Ham, and he said, you can keep Disasi, we call him Axel Disaster. And I was like, you might come to regret that, because he is so good. Now, because there is no option to buy, I don't know how much you'd have to pay. I'm thinking around the realms of 20, 25 million, because Chelsea, yes, can ask for a bigger fee. But also, if they're not going to play him, they'll want those wages off the books. They are also in trouble and ish. I don't know how much that will actually affect them going forward. To be frank, I don't really think they care. I think it's a lot of nothing, that penalty that they've got. I don't think it will do too much to them. But Disasi will be pushing for a move, whether it's to West Ham or out to a different club. He's now got the feeling of playing regular minutes in the Premier League, and he knows he's still got it. So he'll be pushing for the move more than ever, because he will have that self-belief. I hope it's a move to West Ham. I think Disasi is the perfect defensive signing. Again, the fee worries me. And if you look at the account to West Ham, it's not good. But a boy can dream, right? I think this is very different to the Jesse Lingard situation, where Lingard wanted to go back to Man United because that was his goal. I don't think Disasi's goal will be to go back to Chelsea. I don't think I could be wrong. I don't know the bloke. He could be like, actually, no, Chelsea, bigger club. I want to play there and be playing at the top level, which would be fair enough. But I just think he'll want regular minutes. I think he likes what he's got at West Ham. I think he likes the vibe of the club and the players around him. And hopefully we can get that core of players. Yes, we'll probably have to let go of some of Will Fernandes. I know some people say Jared Bowen, but I just don't see that move happening now. I think he's hit that kind of age where if he's going to move, it's this summer, or he just won't get a big move anymore. I could be wrong. That could be absolutely ridiculous. But for Disasi, he's not going to get back into the French squad. I just don't see that big a possibility. But with regular Premier League minutes, he could do. Not for the World Cup. I think this World Cup's passed him by, but even just to get a few more French caps, considering where he's been, that would be immaculate, no? So in conclusion, I think Axel Disasi has been brilliant for West Ham no matter what. I hope we stay up. I believe we stay up. Sorry for the random abrupt camera change. I've literally been editing the video. For some reason, after this, my microphone just dies. All I was saying was, in conclusion, is that yesterday I made a video where I predicted every single result in the Premier League, and you might want to see the results of that because it is quite interesting. It should be on the screen for you now. If you could like, comment and subscribe, guys, that would mean a lot. Thank you guys so much for the support. I've literally just come back to YouTube and you guys have been fantastic and so lovely. And yeah, I'll see you guys probably in the not too distant future, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Take it easy and bye-bye.